What up, Northstar Players? I am Dr. Super Dave. I am so excited to be with you this season. This is a video intro to introduce myself and what is about to happen for your mental toughness training. So I have been in working with players from the NHL down for the past 12 years. I love what I do. I don't see it as a passion. I mean, I definitely see it as a passion, but it's definitely a career, and it's definitely a calling from God. Back in 2013, I decided to get my doctorate. It took me about 12 years to do it, 12 to 13 years to complete it. But I have been the North Star Sport and Performance Psychology coach for at least 5 years. My son Brady went there. As a U16 and a U18 player. He was there for 3 years. He went to the NCDC after, and then he plays for the University of Utah in the ACHA D1. Uh, Before Brady was a player there, I was the sport and performance psychology coach. I've been at the facility many times. Um, and I am from Raleigh, North Carolina. So I would fly from Raleigh to Chicago, Chicago to Minneapolis, St. Paul, 2-hour trip out there, which I'm guessing most of you guys have taken that trip from MSP out to Alexandria. So I am part of the family. I am excited to be with you this season. I did take last year off because I was getting my doctorate. Every week, you guys are going to get an email from me. The email is going to be around, well, the theme for this year is going to be focus. We are going to talk about focus in terms of your commitment, cheap and quality focus as it relates to mental readiness, positive images. We're going to go through the 9 attributions of confidence. We're going to talk about distraction control and of course ongoing learning. I've purposely built the whole program so that whenever or if we compete at nationals, you guys will be ready for that. So it's going to be a weekly theme. It's going to come out on Mondays. That's your day off. Um, and if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I want to encourage you to reach out to me. Throughout the years, I have met with players during the week. I don't like to meet on the weekends. Usually it's on Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday. Um, but we just really need you to be in a different emotional state than on the weekends. You can be all fired up about what went wrong, what went right. And so I talk to players during the week. I do want to, here's your first lesson. I do want to tell you that everything we do in life comes from peaks and valleys. Your relationship with your parents is a peak and a valley. Your relationship with school is a peak and valley. Your shift, going out, could be a peak and valley. You could have a period where you're on the peak and you have a period when you're in the valley. You can have games when you're in the valley, games when you're on a peak. Everything's about peaks and valleys. And I do want to encourage you to say that, when you're on a peak, it's awesome. But guess what? Because everything's peaks and valleys, when you're on a peak, there's a valley coming. So the good news when you're on a peak is it's great. The bad news is you're going to be going into a valley. And we can say the opposite is true about a valley. When you're having a valley, bad thing is about a valley is you're in a valley. Good thing about a valley is you're going to be going to a peak. So everything is peaks and valleys. How we glorify the Lord with our talents and our abilities in the valley is where the rubber meets the road. And so everything we do needs to glorify him. But I want to give you all the mental tools so that you can get out of the valley a little bit faster. Okay. So that now here's tip number 2 for tonight is mental toughness. When you're mentally tough, we are able to play at the upper ranges of our ability consistently under pressure in the biggest moments. And so, see this toolbox behind me? In this toolbox behind me are about 14 tools. So just like your toolbox, at home, your dad's got a toolbox in the basement or out in the garage or whatever. You really don't know all the tools in his toolbox, but he may have a better idea how to use those tools. I am going to be building your toolbox. You didn't know you had a toolbox till today. One of the tools is right there, right in the middle. That's the reset button and the hourglass. We're going to be talking about those tools right there. Those are three of the biggest tools that you're going to use: words of affirmation, reload, and pressure with your hourglass. We're going to be talking about those. So I'm going to move the screen over to here, and I'm going to tell you that every tool has a place to go. So if you're lacking motivation, we're going to be using the goal setting, imagery, routine, and self talk tools. Again, I'm going to teach you all this. Um, we're going to get into the details of what that is. Self confidence is goal setting, imagery, routines, and self talk. Attentional focus, routines, imagery, mindfulness, emotional regulation, self awareness, reappraisal, meditation. This stuff doesn't mean a whole lot to you right now, but it will. Towards the middle and the end of the season, it's all going to sort of come together. This is going to be different and weird at first, but you're going to use it. If you plan on pursuing hockey further, you will need to use these tools: arousal reduction, breathing, biofeedback. That's like your somatic anxiety, relaxation, PMR, progressive muscle relaxation, autogenic training, imagery, meditation. So some of us, we have too much arousal. We need to reduce, and some of us need more arousal, which means more excitement. And so we need to, know how to do that. We know how to increase or decrease our somatic and cognitive anxiety. All right. So I am encouraged to be with you. I'm excited. Everything, remember, peaks and valleys, and we've got a toolbox that we're going to build. All right. So I'm Dr. Super Dave. Super excited to be with you guys. As the emails come out, I want to encourage you to pay attention to those, obviously. But if you have any questions hockey related, it's definitely go to your coach, go to Dallas, go to Ryland. But when it comes to mental toughness or any, mental stuff that you're working with, any tools, I can be available to you. All right. God bless. Have a great night.